are a visionary, an entrepreneur, a business owner. You want to make money from your passion and create the freedom that you've dreamed of. But it's slow. The income is slow, the impact is slow, and the freedom is slow. And here's the kicker. You've actually never been busier. You're working longer than ever, burning through daylight, and your family have forgotten who you are. You're tired and frustrated and you can't even sleep well at night. The business just feels so heavy, and all you ever wanted to do was just make the money you want to make, doing the things that you want to do. And that's where I come in. Hi, if we haven't met yet, my name is Dr. Brooklyn Storm, and I'm the host of the Business Acceleration Podcast, where we shift your business from heavy to light, time poor to time abundant, and from income lack to income growth. We're going to achieve it together with my 20 years experience as a psychologist, helping people just like you to break through their barriers. And we're going to throw in a little of the woo as well. So thank you so much for pushing play today. Let's begin. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Business Acceleration Podcast. If we haven't met yet, g'day, my name is Dr. Brooklyn Storm. I'm a psychologist and a business coach. And today I'm talking with you about recruiting, and the focus today is going to be on recruitment, specifically in the sector of health and wellness. And this topic has been inspired by comments that I've received on my business page in Facebook, in my group, and of course by some of the beautiful coaching clients that I work with. So one of the things about business is when you do start to achieve your goal of increasing your income, it then allows you to work towards other goals as well. And that includes scaling the business or scaling the practice. And scaling invariably means hiring. And I don't know what it's like where you are or in the field that you're in, but in psychology, for example, or in allied health in Australia, there's some stories out there that it's notoriously hard to find candidates. And, you know, it always amuses me when I see all of these stories being shared in different forums. Everybody has some experience where they've put up an ad and they haven't had respondents and things like that. So I thought, let's try and understand a little bit more deeply about what's going on with recruiting in the health field in Australia. So I think the first thing really is to understand that when you're a health practitioner, you might be really great at your job. You might be very passionate about it. You're absolutely loving it. And guess what? Your diary starts to get fully booked. And once it gets fully booked, then you start to create a wait list. You also have a cancellation list. And then eventually the time comes where you realize that you're tired, you're not able to manage all of the work, and that you're actually going to need some help. And for a lot of new private practice owners, this is when the realization happens that they're going to have to start recruiting. So first off, we're already behind the 8 ball. There's already a lot of pressure on that private practice owner to find someone because they already needed somebody, you know, a month ago or 2 months ago. So then what happens is they go into their various social media platforms and they ask everybody else in their industry for advice and guidance and help. And of course, everybody jumps on them and says, oh, it's so hard and don't bother. And, you know, it's really difficult. It's going to take you forever and you're never going to find the right person. And I guess for somebody who's inexperienced with recruitment, and who's seeking advice and seeking help, they're very open to hearing all of these stories. And because there's such a plethora of them, what has happened for some clients that I work with is they've internalized other people's stories as their own. And they're now, before they've even put up an ad, they're now already telling themselves, it's going to be hard, it's going to take me forever, I'm not going to find the right person. They haven't even tried yet. Okay. Now, when we're working from an energetic perspective, when we're thinking about things like what we put out, we get back, what do you think having an attitude of this is going to be hard, it's never going to work, I'm not going to find the right person, what do you think is going to come back to you if you start your recruitment from that mindset? You're going to get no responses, or you're going to get low quality candidates. You're going to get candidates that perhaps don't even have working rights for your country. You're going to have candidates that aren't qualified. And of course, you're going to get candidates that are from completely random industries applying for your job. And so we want to stop that from happening. And so, the first thing to really do before you start recruiting is to understand what your beliefs are about hiring somebody. Have a think about, why do you need somebody? What are your expectations? What do you believe about the recruitment process? What have you heard, and are you going to choose to take those other stories on or not? Okay. The thing is that recruiting itself is not hard. I think what happens is, in my experience, 20 years in psychology and also working with, private practice owners as coaching clients, is that just nobody's ever really taught them how to recruit properly. What happens is they ask peers for advice. Those peers have done a bad job of it, and, haven't got the results that they really wanted to get. And so they're very willing to be vocal and verbal about their experiences. But I think if you're given the right training in terms of how to recruit the right staff member for you, then of course you're going to have a much better chance of getting the right person. So I'm going to give you some of the tips, not all of them, but some of the tips that I share with my coaching clients or private practice owners that have worked for them, and hopefully you can get some of these things to work for you too. So the first thing, of course, is you want to set aside some time for yourself, and where you can have peace and quiet, and you can just enjoy the process of thinking about the difference that this person is going to make to your business. Think about whether or not having this new person is going to free up time for you, whether or not this new person is going to help bring more clients into the business. Think about the personality of this new person that you want to join the business. Think about the contributions that they make. Think about how well you get along with them. Think about what clients say about them after a session. Do clients come out of the consultation room and say, wow, that was amazing, or wow, I really connected with him or her? Start thinking about those sorts of things, okay? The next thing to do is to write that out. So just free write. It's just stream of consciousness writing. Just write it all out. All of those things that you imagine, you fantasize about with this new person on your team, okay? And then what you're going to do is not look at ads that other people have put up. Do not look at advertisements that your peers have been putting on various job search sites. I'll tell you why. Number one, when you're inexperienced with recruiting, you're going to be looking for templates. You're going to be looking for processes and guidance. And number two, you already know that those people who put those ads up didn't get good responses. So why would you copy them? Okay, do not use them as a template, because if those people didn't get good outcomes, guess what? You're not going to get a good outcome from it either. And then you will subscribe to the story that it is hard to recruit somebody. Just don't do it. You're going to do your own thing, and it's going to feel good, and it's going to feel aligned. And yes, it's going to be different to what everybody else is doing, but that's what we want. So anyway, you've got your sheet of paper and you've written out your stream of consciousness writing about all the wonderful things with this candidate, and then that is going to become your advertisement. It's that simple. there are more steps to this, and we go a bit deeper than this with the coaching sort of one-to-one. But this alone is enough to start to get you seeing applications coming through that are more aligned with your practice, that are more aligned with your team, that are more aligned with your vision and your values for your beautiful business, okay? When you've got the right person on board, what's going to happen is you're going to increase your income, your bottom line is going to increase, and you're going to be able to increase the impact that you have. And impact is a word that's been thrown around a lot lately online. But and offline as well, but impact really just means, I guess, when we all got into health and wellness roles, it was mostly because we wanted to be able to help people. We wanted to help people feel better. We wanted to help them feel healthier, to live fuller, more productive, more fulfilling lives, and to, feel that sense of happiness and joy within themselves again. Imagine being able to have more of an impact on more people with your beautiful business. You absolutely can. And guess what? If you get the right candidate for your business, they're going to stay with you. They're going to help you calling more clients. They're going to help you increase your bottom line. They're going to be on the same page as you. They're going to treat the business as their own. They're going to be as in love with it as you are. They're going to be proud of it. They're going to love marketing it, because why wouldn't they? They want to help people. They want to share the practice message just as much as you do, because they believe in it as much as you do, right? It's not just a job to them. Anyway, these are some of the tips that are very, very effective and very, very powerful. And they're a little bit left of center when it comes to recruiting. But please, guys, do not look at what everybody else is doing, because what everybody else is doing generally isn't working. And as I said, you can go and see proof of that in all of the groups that you're in. So don't even do it. Stay in your own lane. Focus on your business. Don't bother about what everybody else is doing. Your business is unique. It's not the same as everybody else's. You have a different style. You have a different approach. You have different values. You have different beliefs. And you have a different vision than everybody else. That's what makes it unique. Okay? So be unique with your recruiting. Anyway, if you're interested in learning how to increase your bookings, I have a live training coming up in, I think it's about 10 days. It's on the 3rd of October at 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. It's a Zoom training webinar. Everybody's invited. You're all welcome. It goes for about an hour. There's a really good workbook that I've put together. Plus, I've got some other goodies that I'll give throughout the training to people who kind of stick around, so that they get extra support and can take their marketing even deeper in ways that feel more aligned. Just like how I've shared with you that you can recruit your next team member from a place of alignment, you can also do your marketing from a place of alignment in ways that feel really, really good. Guys, I teach this stuff all the time. I went over to LA and London and taught it over there on TV. A columnist for 5 magazines where I teach people exactly all of this sort of stuff. I want to share it with you. It's not going to cost you a cent. I would just love for you to turn up, because I want to achieve my goal of having more of an impact as well. And if I can do that with a webinar, then I'm happy to do that with a webinar. I will pop the link for it in the show notes for you. I really hope that you can make it, because I'd love to help you. And I can't wait to hear some of the outcomes and the feedback that you have from listening to this episode. If you try implementing any of these tools, please let me know how you go. Or if you need a little bit of extra guidance, I'm absolutely more than happy to help you. Have a profitable day, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys. Bye. Thank you so much for listening today. I really hope that you enjoyed it and got a lot of value from it. Help me help others by sharing this podcast. And if you feel called to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, remember to let me know so that I can send you a very special thank you gift. Now go and build your dream business, and I will see you next time. Bye.